Has Minecraft actually become easier over time, or are these YouTubers waffling? Well, let's get into it. So the most logical point to start at is the path of getting to the end of the game. Has that actually become easier over time, or has it stayed the same? Well, the first major change in this path comes with the Nether update, and its addition of piglins and the warped forest, which increased the spawn rate of Endermen. So you would assume the answer is yes. With these changes, it has gotten easier to get to the end of the game. But no, just no, because also in the Nether update, they decreased the spawn rate of the Nether fortress by 2 to 3 times. So basically balancing out the other two additions of piglins and the warped forest. The only other major change to the path to the end is that strongholds now spawn under Y0, which if anything makes it slightly more difficult. Now on to the major mistake these videos, or people that share this opinion, make when talking about difficulty of Minecraft, and that comes in the form of villagers, specifically mending with villagers. So mending doesn't really affect difficulty. And you might be confused, what the fuck do you mean it doesn't affect difficulty? Well, here is 2 clips. One with mending and one without mending. As you can see, it doesn't change anything. This is where these videos become confused with difficulty and just extremely tedious tasks. The minute that these videos mention 1 emerald mending villagers is the minute they shoot themselves in the foot. As all mending does is prevents you from having to replace a pickaxe every 8,000 blocks and get new armor every 592 hits by a mob. So let's look into the definition of difficult. The definition is needing much effort or skill to accomplish / deal with, which mending doesn't change anything in the game that could be labelled as a difficult task. Even Netherite, all you need to do is get beds. Mending does in fact remove a very tedious task, yes, but it doesn't change difficulty in any way. In fact, it probably adds difficulty through having to suffer the headache that is redstone. Moving on to the food and bed mess. I mean, for the food system, in its current state, is literally harder than it was before, or kinda, as it also slips into a tedious task. As well, food back in the day literally just healed your health, whereas today you have to eat food no matter what, as you will starve to death even if you haven't taken any damage. And the bed nonsense, well, I mean, the people that always mention this, well, aren't probably old enough or even bothered playing Minecraft when that was even a thing. Even then, beds' existence led to the phantoms existing, so therefore equaled out again. Now on to the last thing, generation. This one is the trickiest. Depending on which version you grew up with is whether it actually got easier or harder. You might be confused. Well, a point these videos use is obviously there's more structures, so more structure loot. But if you played console edition, then you know how common structures were due to the world limit. But on Java, this isn't the case, as they've always had infinite worlds. So for the structure part of generation, it just really depends on which version you played. Another part of generation which this doesn't apply to is ore distribution. It is also a confusing one, as technically Minecraft today is obviously so much easier to get diamonds than like 13 years ago. But a factor most of these videos, or most of the people that say this opinion doesn't factor in, is the cross section for mobs being able to spawn has got significantly larger after the Caves and Cliffs update. So therefore, more area to light up and more area for you to deal with mobs, because there will be more mobs than there was in caves 13 years ago. So while yes, diamonds appear way more than they did 13 years ago, mobs also spawn more frequent due to the larger cross section of caves. So once again, somewhat balanced. The only unbalanced thing in the entire game is the totem, and while they tried to balance it, it's never going to be balanced. That's the only thing that I'll accept that it's actually got easier for. Oh, and also elytras, but I mean, you have to beat the entire game to get them, so I mean, they're pretty okay, I guess. But pretty much the summary of it, apart from the totem, is that every edition was also been balanced by something else. So it's not that the game has got easier, it's just the fact that you have got better at the game, so you no longer find things like zombies challenging. But comment down your opinion, maybe you disagree with me altogether. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you enjoyed this form of content, consider subscribing. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.